Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, guys, I want to talk about a very important way that we can upgrade our immune system if we have a kind of weakening immune system. Or I want to talk about a way that we can enhance our immune system. If we already have a decent immune system, I want to talk about a way that we can enhance it and up it a little bit. And if you have the optimal, you know, immune system, then I want to talk about how we can help maintain it, okay? Something else that we can add to the arsenal in order to stay healthy, all right? Now, we're living in times where it's a lot easier to be unhealthy, okay? There's a lot of foods out there that may taste good, okay? May be easy, quick, fast, and appealing, okay? But it might not be the best thing for our health, okay? So, and then there's other factors, okay? And things like that. So, and then, we do things like we have habits that we all have habits that probably aren't the best for us, okay? And so, with that said, we got to always be mindful of things we can do to mitigate, okay, things that may ultimately affect our health in a negative manner. All right? So, with that said, Hassani, please go back over there, okay? I'm sorry, guys. My daughter's trying to get in the video, trying to, distract me a little bit. All right? Sorry about that. But, this channel is also about family, so I don't mind, saying, that happened, okay? That's Bonnie. That's my daughter. Y'all seen her in previous videos. Now, to get back to the point, though. All right, so the thing about it, guys, so we have to keep our immune system up. That's what it's all about. It's not about what we can avoid as much as it's about your immune system. Because in this day and age, there's so many things that can throw our health off, okay? That it's more so about what you are resistant to as opposed to what you can avoid, okay? Because you can't avoid everything. And it only takes a little bit to affect your health in a negative manner, okay? And so with that said, you have to build up your defense, all right? Now, so what I'm gonna get into, I'm gonna talk about vitamin D, okay? Vitamin D, immunity, okay? A vitamin D is key to your immunity. Now, most of us, a lot of times we like to think of vitamin C as being the super antioxidant. Vitamin C as being what fights off colds, what fights off viruses, how to build up our immune system. And vitamin C is very important, okay? No doubt, vitamin C is very important, but it's not the most important vitamin, okay, when it comes to immunity. For example, if somebody was to tell me, look, you got a choice between vitamin C and vitamin D. You're gonna have to go without one. But but you have to pick it, okay? And if I didn't want to get sick, I'm gonna use vitamin D, okay? I'm gonna pick vitamin D. It's a little more important than vitamin C when it comes to your immunity, though both of them are very important, okay? Now, so with that said, vitamin D, right? Vitamin D, guys, now I'm gonna tie this all in. Vitamin D comes from the sun, okay? Vitamin D naturally comes from the sun. The best form of vitamin D is what comes through nature, okay, organically, the sun. And plus, with the sun, there's other components, other elements, minerals, energy, frequency, light that you are able to absorb, okay, that maybe even science hasn't caught up with and don't quite understand, okay, and in a way that is not isolated. For example, when you take isolated vitamins and minerals through supplementation, okay, they don't always work the same. They're not always as effective, okay, based on the fact that when these things are found in nature through fruits and vegetables, they're also they're they're geometrically structured perfectly to where the Most High has certain ratios of certain vitamins and minerals, and therefore they feed off of each other, okay, at the perfect ratio, okay, to provide health and wellness, okay, to us, okay. But when you take something isolated, you may be taking too much of one thing, not enough of something else, okay, and that's how that can work, all right. So when you're getting it from the sun, you're getting it from the source that is intelligent enough to give you all the things you need in its proper ratio. So that's one thing. Two, I want to talk about, because like I said in this video, we're talking about immunity, okay? And immunity has to do with your blood, okay? Your blood is life. Life is in the blood, okay? If you can get your blood right, you can get your life right when it comes to youth, health, wellness, and vitality, okay? So, with that said, what's a major component of our blood? Okay, bone marrow. You know why? Because bone marrow is what produce your white blood cells and your red blood cells. Okay, all right. And so we know your white blood cells has to do with your immunity. Okay, fighting against viruses and infections. Okay, and then we know that your red blood cells has to do with oxygen, okay? Dispersing oxygen throughout the body, okay? Your oxygen intake. And we know that's one of the four elements, okay? Air, okay? A lot of people are very sick, okay? Because they are not able to utilize oxygen at the levels that they need to sustain a healthy life, okay? You know, some people, and this is not to get, I got a flag on Facebook somewhat recently, and I think I think about it. Maybe I was being a little insensitive, but I wasn't taking a personal shot at anyone. But this is a true thing throughout society. Okay, you got some people who can't take 5 steps without breathing hard. That means that's a person who their body is not getting enough oxygen to carry them through to a point where they can barely walk without losing their breath. Okay? So oxygen is key when it comes to life. The less oxygen you're getting, okay, the less life force you have. Chi, prana, oxygen, okay, that is life, okay? So that's why your red blood cells are extremely important because that's what transports oxygen all throughout your body. Okay, so you have to support those red blood cells. If your bone marrow is not being attended to, then you're not going to produce the adequate amount of red blood cells. Therefore, you're not going to produce the amount of oxygen that your body needs to thrive. Okay, and eventually, what happens the less oxygen you have, right? At some point, you suffocate. All right, and it gets to a point where some people can't. They don't have enough oxygen in their body. They could be sitting down, okay, and they don't have the energy to just keep breathing without getting tired. Okay, so oxygen is key, That's fundamental though, but that explains it in a way where it really hones in. You go, and so of course things like smoking and things like that, breathing bad air and things like that doesn't necessarily help either. All right. And so that's what we gotta do. That's when the white blood cells come in, your immunity and your ability to filter toxins out the blood, so your blood won't get clogged up and get clotty. That's what happens with the red blood cells. They get clotty, and the oxygen is not able to flow through the body like it needs to. All right. So that's that component. But then also your blood consists of plasma and also platelets. Okay, so platelets. We'll talk about the platelets right quick. That's your healing factor. Okay, that's your blood clotting at a certain point. If you get cut or something like that, that's your immunity. So you can have the healing factor. If you ever watch X-Men, like Wolverine, he got a healing factor, right? So, people who are healthy, right, and their blood are healthy, if they get cut or something like that, they're able to heal that wound up, fast, at a good rate. So where they won't be susceptible to infections and stuff. Because think about people, if you get cut and your wounds stay open too long, you're more susceptible to bacteria and infections that can get into your blood. So you want to have that quick healing factor, okay? That quick blood. I mean, you know what I mean? That quick rejuvenation of the blood and the skin cells, and healing, so you won't be so vulnerable to outside bacterias and viruses, okay? Boom. All right, and then we know, like I said, plasma. Now this is more like, okay, plasma is light. Okay, plasma is electricity, light. Your cells have light, biophotons. Okay, all your cells have little light, biophotons. Intelligence is light. Light is intelligence. Okay, and you have that within you. That's what truly keeps you going. Is your electrical pulse. Okay, your electricity, your life force. That's what keep you going. I've talked about in past videos. Okay, what you think is responsible for your heart beating? Like, what's the intelligence that makes your heart beat? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's all electromagnetism. Okay, that's electrical pulses. Okay, so everything is light and electricity. Okay, and magnetism, whether you realize it or not, or whether you like it or not. And so with that said, you get that light. Light is plasma. Okay, that ball of energy up there, that sun, that's plasma. Okay, that sun and that plasma is intelligent. Okay, it produces all kinds of life down here on this planet. You know what I mean? All life on this planet. Okay, so therefore it's very intelligent. All right, and that light communicates. Okay, and you are intelligent. You have certain processes that go on without you even being conscious of it. So therefore you are intelligent on a level that even you can't even comprehend. Okay, and so with that said, when that light hits your light, okay, then you are able to comprehend and perceive, even if it's in a way that you may not like, you may not be sitting back like, okay, this is happening, but it's making you healthy. Okay, I want to keep it about health. It's making you healthy. It's making you healthy. Okay, it's taking over certain metabolic processes and chemical reactions that need to happen in order for you to stay healthy. Okay, so when that sunlight hits your eyes, when that sunlight hits your hair, when it hits your skin, certain processes that you can't articulate and comprehend necessarily unless you look it up or do enough study on it and research on it, is making all that stuff happen. But it's happening in harmony because what's the source of life on this planet? From a physical standpoint, the sun has a lot to do with things. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. Sun gazing. That's what, yeah. So sun gazing, guys. So what can happen is, I know we live in a hectic lifestyle right now. You know what I'm saying? You working, doing this, that, and the third, children, family, hobbies. Just all kinds of stuff. We're always busy. So everybody might not have the time and or the desire to spend a lot of time out in the sun. Okay, but what you can do is you can reduce the time that you have to spend out there if you sun gaze a little bit. For beginners, do it either when the sun is rising, when it's weaker at a lower point, or when it's setting. Okay, when it's weaker at a lower point. Okay, and do your research, because I don't want nobody hurting themselves or anything like that. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can possibly hurt yourself, depending on the individual. Okay, but what can happen is you can cut in half the time that it takes to absorb vitamin D and other metabolic processes. Okay, um, than if you was just sunbathing. So while most people, especially maybe if you have darker skin or something like that, it may require you to be out in the sun for at least an hour and 30 minutes. And that may be even in the heart of the summertime when the rays is at its highest frequency and it's as hot as it can be, you know what I mean, at a particular point in time. And you still might have to be out there for like an hour and 30 minutes. So what can happen if you don't have a lot of time, guys, so you can get those processes going, okay, and get all